up, y'all? This Eve coming to you, man, with another episode of Hit the Sled. Before we get started on this episode right here today, follow me. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, on Facebook. Follow me, man. Hit the Sled. We coming at y'all. We got more things coming. I got my Colorado episode coming later on this evening. Follow me. I'm coming every day, man. We coming during this football season. We're gonna have more and more stuff as the season goes on. We're gonna have more and more stuff as the season goes on as to what we're gonna do as far as enhancing Hit the Sled. But with that being said, today's episode, this particular episode is about the Redskins. Washington Commanders. Unfortunately, anybody that knows me know I've always been a Washington, as they used to be called, the Redskins, now the Commanders. Unfortunately, I'm still calling them the Skins. I'm still calling them the Redskins because that's the team of my youth. That's the team. That's what we used to call them all these years. So, from time to time, I am going to refer to them as the Redskins. But on this episode, unfortunately, we got to talk about the loss from yesterday. It was a terrible loss. It was an awful loss. Skins, they had a bad day. Coming off a big win they had last week against against Denver. Got the 2-0, coming home, playing the Bills, playing Buffalo at home. That's a tough way to lose. Tough way to lose. But if you look back at it, the reason why they lost, the first thing, they had 5 turnovers. They lost the game first and foremost because they had 5 turnovers. Can't turn the ball over in pro football. You can't turn the ball over in the NFL and expect to lose. Expect to win, I should say. They had 5 turnovers. Sam Howell had 4 interceptions. We're going to get to that later. But 5 turnovers in pro football, you're not going to beat anybody doing that. You cannot play in any type of football, even if it's the National Football League all the way to Pee Wee League. You can't beat nobody. The flag football, you can't beat anybody turn the ball over 5 times. Can't happen. Can't do it. So that was one of the major factors as to why they lost. The second factor I would say is the O-line protection. Let me tell y'all this, if y'all don't know this. The Redskins are one of the only team in the National Football League that doesn't have a first-round pick on their offensive line. Think about that. And what that means is that whenever the Skins play a team, whenever the Redskins play a team, whenever their offensive line plays a team that has good talent to superior talent on their defensive front, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle. It's going to be hard for them to block them. It's going to be hard for them to protect. It's going to be hard for them to run the ball. And Buffalo got some dudes up there on that defensive line, on that defensive front. They got the dude Oliver, D tackle, drafted number 1, coming out of high school. He was the number 1 overall prospect coming out of high school. Went to Houston, 3 years, first-round pick. They got William Floyd, that used to be with the Rams. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams. He's there. He's a former first-round pick. So the Bills, and they got another dude, Rousseau, that they draft from the Dolphins. He a first-round pick. And believe it or not, their best defensive lineman they didn't play, and Von Miller. Von wasn't out there. Imagine if Von was out there. The Redskins gave up 9 sacks. And Von Miller didn't even play. So that's what I mean, that the Redskins are not they don't have a talented offensive line. And if you can't protect in this day and age in the National Football League, you're going to lose. No sugarcoating. You're going to lose. And moving forward, this offensive line is going to be the key to their success. When the offensive line plays well, chances are they're going to play well because the Redskins, the Commanders, they have skilled players. The tight ends are decent. Robinson, the running back, is decent. Gibson is good. The receivers are upper echelon. But it comes to the offensive line. And Sam Howell's a rookie. We're going to get to him again. We're going to get to him. So if the offensive line doesn't play well, they're not going to win. They gave up 9 sacks yesterday. That's a recipe for failure. That's a recipe for disaster. They're not going to beat nobody. Only giving up 9 sacks. You're not going to win. The defensive line, the value defensive line, and to credit to them, last week they played extremely well. They brought pressure they brought pressure last week. They had Russell Wilson running around for his life. Everybody was getting pressure. Chase Young was getting pressure. Montez Sweat was getting pressure. Deron Payne and them was getting pressure. Jonathan Allen and them was getting pressure. Everybody was putting it in the front. But this week, they didn't see it. They didn't see it at all. Didn't see it. Josh Allen had all day. Josh Allen could have went to Curry out, came back, ate his wings, and then threw the ball. He had all day to throw. All day. He had all day. And you can't have that. You got to put pressure on Josh Allen. If you go back to the game against the Jets, he was under constant pressure. They were hitting him. They were chasing him down, making him move off his spot. The Skins didn't do it. He had time to pick anybody he wanted to. They were driving up and down the field. Driving up and down the field. The Skins defensive line did not put any pressure on them boys. Them dudes, Josh Allen, he could do anything. And you can't have that. In this day and age in the National Football League, if the only way you can play defense, you have to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. It ain't like back in the day when you can mug the receivers, you can hold, grab them, disrupt them, terrify them, hit them, put fear in them. Them days are over. Can't do that no more. They done legislated defense out of pro football. So the only way you can do it now is by putting pressure on the quarterback. Even at that, you can't hit them hard. They're going to throw a flag. So you have to be able to put pressure on them, moving off the spot, making them uncomfortable. That's the only way you're going to be able to disrupt offensive time in the NFL. My fourth reason why they couldn't get the job done, Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera not taking points when he should. So the first possession, they get the possession. They drive down the field. Unfortunately, Sam Howell throws a pick. Second possession, they get the punt. Third possession, they drive all the way down. At this point, the Bills are up 10-0. You got to take the points on that fourth down. You got to take the points. You got to take the points. You cannot go for it right there. You got to always try to make it a one-possession game. You got to take the points. I don't understand I don't know what's going on with coaches these days. They don't believe in field goals. We got coaches, it's fourth down at your own 25. They going for it. We got coaches going for it on their own 35. That's going to be a later topic down the line episode. Coaches in the National Football League, they just go for it willy-nilly. Like possessions don't count. Taking points don't count. All those points add up at the end. So Ron Rivera doesn't take the points right there, make it 10-3. Buffalo gets that ball, drives all the way down the field, scores 17-0. Practically right there, the game was over. To be honest with you, the game was over. The game was done right there. You got to take the points whenever you had that opportunity. My fifth thing is the Bills knew how to defend the Redskins offensively, and they also knew how to attack the Redskins. Here's what I mean by that. The Bills have been playing against an Eric Bieniemy called team for the last 5 years. The Bills have been playing Kansas City Chiefs for 5 years in a row. Every year, playoffs, regular season, they've been playing Kansas City. Eric Bieniemy's been the play caller. They had an idea. They had a beat as to what Eric Bieniemy likes to do in certain situations. They were prepared for everything that the Redskins wanted to do. They were ready. They were prepared. They knew it. There was no surprises from the Bills' point of view as to how to defend the Redskins. They knew how to attack Eric Bieniemy. And as far as offensively attacking the Skins' defense, people forgetting Sean McDermott worked under Ron Rivera for years. He knows how Ron Rivera thinks. Yeah, I know people might say Jack Del Rio is the defensive coordinator, but don't get it twisted. Jack Del Rio is running what Ron Rivera wants him to run. Similar defenses. He knew how to attack Ron Rivera defensively. Everything they did, it was wide open. And the reason why is he understood how to attack a Ron Rivera defense. So on both sides of the ball, the Bills had the upper hand, coaching-wise, on the Redskins. They knew exactly what was going on. They knew how to attack him, and they knew how to defend him. It's no mistake. No mistake. And the sixth thing I would say, but before I move on, let's go over the Redskins' possession to make my point. This is what I'm trying to say as to how the Bills knew how to defend the Redskins' offense. Here's the Redskins' drive. I wrote all of them down. First possession, interception. Second possession, punt. Third possession, turnover on downs. That's the one on fourth. They went for on the fourth down by the goal line. Turnover on downs. Fourth possession, interception. And a half. They get the ball. Redskins get the ball back second half. Punt. Second possession of the second half, fumble. Sam Howell throws a pick. Eighth possession. Punt. And then the last possession, they kick a field goal. One of the last possessions, they kick the field goal. The Bills had a beat on how to defend the Redskins. They knew exactly how to do. They knew how to get them, and vice versa. They knew how to attack Jack Del Rio. So my sixth point is too. What could have helped the Redskins a lot more is if they would stick to the run game. The run game was somewhat successful. They could have ran the ball, but for some reason Eric Bieniemy doesn't stick to the run that often. He don't stick to the run game. That's one of his main issues. He don't stick to the run. Last week, first half, he didn't run the ball at all. Second half, he comes back against Denver. He starts running the ball because the game was close. So he sticks to the run. The run gets going, and that's when they was able to play action, do some things, screens, and be able to take over the game at the end. But this game right here, he couldn't do that because the game was getting out of hand. But if he would have stick to the run early because the run was successful, the game would have been, he would have took some possessions away from the Bills. But he didn't do that. He wanted to keep throwing it like he got Pat Mahomes back then. He got a rookie quarterback. Got to run the ball. Got to run the ball. It's not sexy to run the ball, but to be successful, you got to run the ball. You got to run it. You got to run it. My seventh thing, I would say Sam Howell had a classic rookie game. He threw 4 picks. Missed a lot of stuff. The Bills studied them on film. They had 2 Bills players said he tends to lock in on one receiver. It was on Twitter. He tends to lock in on one receiver. He doesn't come off his first read too often, and by the time he takes him a long time to come off his first read, he's not able to get through his possession, and by then they were able to get to him. That's why they gave up 9 sacks and the O-line couldn't hold up. He was holding the ball too long. Can't hold the ball too long. He had a classic rookie game. Now, moving forward, as we fast forward this, we're getting ready to find out about Sam Howell too. We're getting ready to find out if Sam Howell is the real deal. And here's what I mean by that. He threw 4 picks this game, and they got Philly next. If he's able to bounce back and have a very good game next week, then we might be on something. That means he's mentally tough. He can bounce back. But if he comes back next week and he's struggling, he throws again a couple interceptions, it seems like it's a carryover from last week to this week, they might be in business for a new quarterback. And the reason why I'm saying that, every top-notch quarterback that played his rookie year had rookie games where they threw 3 or more picks. But you know what they didn't do the next following week? They didn't throw again 5-6 picks the next week. They learned from it. They might have thrown a pick, but it wasn't that classic rookie game where the rookie quarterback threw 4 picks this week. Next week he threw 4 picks, or he threw 3 picks. They played a lot better the following week. They got resilience, mental toughness. That's something that all Redskin fans need to be looking for next week. If Sam Howell can bounce back against the Eagles in Philly, not at FedEx, in Philly, they might be in business. They might be on something. So basically what I'm saying is, Sam Howell, we need to watch Sam Howell next week. Because if we can see improvement from Sam Howell, where going into next week, it doesn't seem like it's a carryover. Like he's taking this game this past Sunday with him again next week, then he might be all right. He might be able to develop. And all Redskin fans, as I end this particular episode right here, I want y'all to ask yourself this question. By the end of the year, we should have an idea as to whether or not Sam Howell can win a Super Bowl. Because when Kansas City, after that first year, they went to the NFC Championship game with Pat Mahomes, they knew they could win a Super Bowl with him. Jalen Hurts, he developed, took his team to the Super Bowl. They know they could win the Super Bowl with him. Dan Marino, the Dolphins knew they can go to the Super Bowl with him. Elway, as time went on, they knew they can go to the Super Bowl with him. Eli, after his first year, second year, he got better. They know they could win the Super Bowl with him. Brady, even though he sat for those first couple years, when he got on the field, you could see it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, by the end of the year, you should see stuff in him that could say, I think this guy, we can win the Super Bowl with this guy. That would be something that I want Redskins fans, when you think about at the end of the year, is this guy going to be somebody that we can win a Super Bowl with? So every week with Sam Howell is a test to see whether or not he should be the next Redskin quarterback moving forward. Every week. And turnovers are a big part of it. Turnovers is a big part. And mental toughness. You got to be mentally tough. Eli, mental toughness. His brother Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions, set the rookie record for interceptions, but came back the next year, went 13-3. Now that's getting it done. Dan Marino going to the Super Bowl. Elway taking his team to the Super Bowl. Now I'm calling all-time greats Pat Mahomes. These are all-time greats I'm talking about. But hey, that's in this day and age. Before I get off, this is something right here. The NFL now. If you don't have that guy at quarterback, you ain't winning the Super Bowl. The days of you running Joe Morris with Phil Simms and winning the Super Bowl playing defense, run the ball with Joe Morris, throwing to Mark Bavaro, and have LT be the defensive player of the year in the MVP of the National Football League in '86. Them days are over. You need your defense to play well. You have to have a defense, yes, but you gotta be able to have that guy at quarterback. Those are the facts that the National Football League did now. You gotta have that guy at quarterback. So we're gonna find out whether now Sam Howell is the quarterback for the Redskins moving forward. Man, I truly appreciate y'all, man, watching me on my Redskin breakdown. I truly appreciate y'all, man. Pass the word, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, my YouTube channel. Hit the sled, follow me there, man. I'm here. We coming, man. We coming, man. I truly appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot.